Hi guys, Mark Crossfield here today, testing Titleist 915 D2 up against Taylormade M2. Lots of twos going on here. Both got channels and pockets, changeable necks. Let's compare them. Let's show you what they might do for me, give you an idea of what they might do for you. Let's get stuck in. Right, so Titleist D2, 915 D2, you get the active recoil channel from toe to heel, allowing the face to flex evenly top and bottom, I think they're saying. Similar idea, speed pocket from Taylormade M2. Both of them have very fixed heads apart from the neck, which is changeable. Change the lie and the loft independent with sure fit tall hosel, and then you get lofts and a little bit of lie changing in the M2 as well. All black head in D2 to the white black compare in the unmetalled metal wood because it's a composite top. Both 460. Let's give them a compare, hit some with both and see how they feel and how they perform. We're going to start with the Titleist D2. Now both of these are set a 9.5 loft. Again, we've got this very tricky fairway to try and hit, which does mean going slightly down the right side of that line. Let's give it a go. Titleist D2 down by the ball looks great. I do feel very Jordan Spieth with this in my hand, which is not a bad thing. Let's give it a hit. Hit that one okay. Just get right at that bunker. Oh, it's such a tough driving hole, this one. Oh yeah, just got right at the bunker. 252, so slightly toe strike. Spinning at 2.5. Right, let's give it another hit. Just need to miss that line slightly to the right. It's a tough old driving hole here. The fourth at the Brab. Hit that one quite nicely. So that's splitting the fairway, I think. Yeah, it's down the right of the line is the line to hit. That one's going 2.52, not bad at all. Spinning at 2.4. Right, let's do one more. You get the little kind of reverse Titleist line on top here as well, that little triangle. I think this was the first year it came on round the other way, which is quite fun. Let's give it one more hit. Oh, and all black as well. It does look very sleek, this driver. Hit that one quite well. Towed it, and I expect that to draw back, but it's just hanging out there. Me and that tree are having it out today. So 2.51. So there's some hits with the Titleist there. I'm averaging 2.6 spin and 2.51. Each one of them went 2.51. Not three of my best hits, but that's a decent average. I've been testing all morning actually. It's quite interesting to see those numbers move as I get hungrier and a little bit more fatigued. Those numbers kind of jump around a little bit as well, which is something really interesting for fitting. I saw a really interesting study once where the RNA did a study on a very high performing golfer, so an English golfer who was playing for in the England team, just off +2 I think he was. First day in their fitting bay, he reached speeds that he didn't reach for the rest of the other days, and they couldn't explain why. The only reason maybe being that he was excited on that first day. So quite interesting to bear in mind when you're testing clubs over different days. This is why I never do like, I see some magazines and that do kind of like a, you know, like a top charts of the, it's just ridiculous because my performance from day in, day out, I've got a cold today, will change as much as these clubs will, as much as strike will, or as you hit it across the different parts of the face will change the spin. So you need to really compare them as close to each other as possible if you're going to make a kind of calculated decision. So M2, down by the ball, if anything M2 looks bigger, and I know it isn't, but it's just because the D2, 915 D2 is black all over, subject to the light, it kind of blends a bit in my shadow here on the ground, for instance, where M1 kind of has more defined lines around it, which I think just makes it look bigger. It might be a little bit more flattened out as well, so let's give this a few hits. Not a bad shot, it's good for direction. Not my best strike, but it's out there. So around 250 something, not far off the same, I'd say. 257. Okay, let's hit another one. hit that one quite toey, which I think should just get a little less spin and maybe a bit more carriella. It's almost carrying past my tree. I keep hitting. 263. Again, I'll be interested. That spike spin was 2.4, I think it was then. Okay, we'll do one more, and I definitely feel like I'm getting slightly better numbers out of M2. It might be interesting to see if I flip back to D2 to finish to see if I'm getting equivalent strikes. Again, hit that one not too bad at all. It's a good flight on that, and that is going out there. Okay, that's going to be a lower spinning one, that. 266. Spinning 2.3, yeah, low spinning. Right, we're just going to go back to Titleist D2 actually. I just want to hit 1 or 2 to see if I can get... It is interesting when you test clubs because you sometimes go in flows or batches of shots, and it happens on the course as well. You know, you have a good 3 holes and then you have a bad hole and then you have another good 4. It kind of comes in batches sometimes, and it could be equally as spasmodic. I'm going to hit 1 more with a Titleist subject where I hit it, see what I get out of it. Okay, I didn't hit that great, but I think there's a bit more speed in that. In that bunker again. 253, it's not. I mean, it's slightly less. So if we bring up those numbers, we'll have a look. Right, so let's look at the numbers then. Interesting, isn't it? I'm getting 10 yards extra carry. 261 out of M1 to 251 out of D2 Titleist. Now, when I tested Titleist first off, when it first came out, and I tested it with my machine, my balls, like I'm doing today, I've actually got some of the longest numbers ever out of this club. It's interesting how it moves, isn't it? And again, as I always say, I mean, you're 2.5 spin with M2, and then it's 2.7 with D2 Titleist. So again, my strike's just pushing those numbers on their lower bracket, if you like. I'm definitely getting more ball speed from the Taylormade M2, and again, that's going to be a lot to do with my contact on the face. Because both of these clubs, and all of the clubs nowadays, are built to such similar tolerances across the face. But out of that test, for me, if I was to choose, I would definitely go M2 on those numbers. I would, for me, have to repeat that test when I speak to lots of the very clever scientist people that I'm lucky enough to speak to when I travel around talking to golf companies and other kind of great coaches and what have you. They always want you to be able to reproduce a test. So if you do it once, but they want to see you be able to do it again to get some kind of conclusion over what's going on. Interesting numbers. M2 performing very well there, and I've said that all along. It's a very good driver. Those numbers wouldn't stop me getting D2 if I wanted to look speedy on the tee, because I do love to look at that. And I know I can get equally as good numbers out of that, subject to me hitting enough shots and finding equivalent strikes. Great stuff, guys. Post comments down below. M2, D2, Titleist, Taylormade, which one, why? Let me know. Love to hear. Speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more videos. Find me on Instagram at Crossfield Mark. Also on Twitter at 4golfonline. Find me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield. Thanks for watching. Post comments as always, and see you soon.